One black girlhood. When I was white, I was a man. My hair was wavy and feathered. I wore a cowboy hat. It was the 70s. I was a stud. I went to bars and picked up girls. I could have anyone I saw. They bought me drinks, and I drank them, and took my favorites home to my waterbed. I never doubted this was me, even though I was a small black girl watching myself over my shoulder. I knew to whisper in a woman's ear how to wear those bones under my skin, and did not need to see my face or recognize my own soft voice. This is called Gaydar, 9 Studies of a Non-Smoker. It's raining. Our car passes a boy smoking. A girl says, "He don't smoke." A boy smoking, passing our car in the rain. My girl says, "He don't smoke." Boy with cigarette, posing in the rain. Our girl tells us, "He don't smoke." Boy walks aimlessly with a cigarette. Our girl Qua says, "He don't smoke." Watching that boy puff and walk aimlessly, our friend Qua says, "He don't smoke." What is she saying? He don't smoke. He's holding that cigarette, ain't he? Look at him again. His wrist, his chin, his saunter. You know he don't smoke. Me and my friends pass by in a car, watch that boy, knowing he don't smoke. Watching cars go by, he puffs, blows, tilts his coy head. That boy, he don't smoke. Okay, this is a really, really, really new one. So new that I rewrote it on the way over here. And it's entitled, "The Current President of the United States Speaks as Your Lover." And I just think people say his name too much, so I'm not. I want your hand over your heart, but I'll only pledge allegiance to my own irregular beat. You can't live in my country, a patriot to my body. My blood courts distinction through a nervous system. I take my guts rumbling for a true and final word. This is how my laws are born, one fumble at a time. You've got to face facts. I won't change my ways. It's in my constitution. It's just the way I am. Fat jeans, another new one. Once again, I am rooting around for the fat jeans I have buried beneath a mountain of too small slacks. Having given myself permission to scarf down every crumb, I must go rooting around for the things I've kept in case this day should come. In this way, I resemble my country, too big for my own pants. I grow more than I have room for. I plan the extravagance. I pardon all my own errors. I've got nothing to lose. I know I have what I need beneath what I no longer use. So, right after 9/11, or a little bit after that, once we decided to go to war, I realized that I was getting really bitter and that it was affecting every part of my life. And I thought, as I was writing this poem, about Sonia Sanchez, who, and one time I took a workshop with her and she had everybody literally rub the negativity off of us before we wrote and talked about our poetry. And she also has a lot of things to say about toxicity in the body and how it affects whether you are able to make war. And so I thought about this as I was writing the poem. It's called Protest Poem. Should the years continue to press as they press now, and in their pressing, press the sugar from my skin, let the stone that forms inside me be amber. Should there be aching then for sweetness? Should they come looking and find me? Let them find in me this rock and not my bitter carapace. This rock, and think of honey stored away for safekeeping. Tomorrow, who knows? Should the sun burn out as it plans to do, and as it burns, burn down all the trees. Let my shadow be a cool thing, reaching out to shade you. For Stephen. Faced with his jaw, his cocked head, the stubble on his jutting chin, you might believe he's all points. Even the thick shock of hair that used to roam his head is now oiled and stretched and woven into tight rows. You could almost forget his naps. Like most things intimate, he buries them close to his body. He even guards his words with teeth and slightly cracked lips. Sometimes I find myself tricked, as if I never watched him practice this dance. 2 years ago, he measured each risk of fashion and gesture by an older cousin's calculations. Now sparsity is a sixth sense. To catch him feeling, you have to know the glint in his eye is a smile. Notice when you hug him how he holds on longer than you. But give up on full sentences and eye contact. This is 15. Wait for him on the other side of hardness. This is one of the poems that's in MiPO. Ritual. Not knowing what to do with my hands, I write to my dead friend. In truth, I never earned the right to call her friend. I'm just a wet face on the edge of her travels. Maybe you think I'll show what I put down, but I heave those words just for her. As she has no address, I have to read them until water spills from me, and my ink discovers its source. And a hole opens up in the dead tree, and the tree curls to the gate, and the souls of all the present things turn to bow to the absence among them, a souvenir of our coming years, a portal to our dead. And I'm going to end with The Best Way to Be, which is a theme song of sorts. Armor and Flesh, this is also an Armor and Flesh. Armor and Flesh is about emotional vulnerability and hardness. And Lorna Simpson has a lot of photographs of black women's backs, and when she talked about them, she said she wanted to take pictures of black women, but she didn't want to give everybody all the accessibility to the image. So that's part of what's in here. The best way to be, as with Lorna Simpson's backs. The best way to be. The best way to be the best way to be. The best way to be. Open is to be. Reliable is to be. Revelatory is to be. Accurate is to be. Complicated, not. Distant, not. Impenetrable, not. Closed, not. Vulnerable, weak, open, effusive. The best way to be sincere is to be firm, not delicate. The best way to be naked is to be raw, not impressionable. The best way to be fair is to be tough, not sensitive. The best way to be chaste is to be cool, not passionate. The best way to be frank is to be aloof, not tender. The best way to be genuine is to be reserved, not fragile. The best way to be faithful is to be sharp, not flowery. The best way to be 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 blunt is to be true, is to be harsh, is to be pure, is to be coarse, not abrupt, not cold, not sturdy, not excessive, expressive, permeable, transparent.